The YouTube platform has been updated to incorporate Smilies alongside the reply window. This enhancement offers users a more expressive medium for communication and interaction within the platform. The introduction of Smilies next to the reply window is a minor, yet potentially impactful, user interface adjustment. Such changes can significantly influence the overall user experience and engagement on the platform. From a technical standpoint, this update likely involves modifications to the front-end code of the YouTube website and mobile applications. The developers will have had to integrate the Smiley selection interface into the existing reply window structure. This could involve using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS to create the visual elements and handle the user interaction. Furthermore, the back-end systems need to be capable of properly storing and displaying the selected Smilies in the comments section. This might require updates to the database schema and the server-side code that generates the comment threads. Considerations for cross-browser compatibility and responsiveness across different devices would also be crucial during the development process. The update needs to function seamlessly on various web browsers, such as Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge, as well as on different mobile operating systems like Android and iOS. Ensuring accessibility is another important factor. The Smiley selection interface should be designed to be usable by individuals with disabilities, adhering to web accessibility guidelines such as WCAG. This might involve providing alternative text descriptions for the Smilies and ensuring that the interface is navigable using keyboard input. From a user perspective, the addition of Smilies can make communication more nuanced and expressive. Smilies can help to convey emotions and tensions that might be difficult to express through text alone. This can be particularly useful in online discussions where nonverbal cues are absent. However, it's also important to consider the potential downsides of using Smilies. Overuse of Smilies can sometimes be perceived as unprofessional or immature. It's important for users to exercise discretion and use Smilies appropriately in different contexts. In terms of the impact on YouTube's overall ecosystem, the addition of Smilies is unlikely to have a dramatic effect. However, it can contribute to a more positive and engaging user experience, which can ultimately lead to increased user retention and platform growth. YouTube is constantly evolving and adapting to meet the changing needs of its users. The addition of Smilies is just one small example of the many ways in which the platform is striving to improve the user experience and foster a more vibrant online community. In the context of software development and deployment, updates like this often follow a structured process. Firstly, the feature is conceptualized and designed. Secondly, developers write and test the code. Thirdly, the update is deployed to a test environment for further evaluation. Fourthly, once the testing is complete and any bugs are fixed, the update is rolled out to the production environment, making it available to all users. The deployment process itself can be complex, involving techniques such as A/B testing to assess the impact of the new feature on user behavior. A/B testing involves showing different versions of the interface to different groups of users and comparing their engagement metrics. This allows YouTube to determine whether the new feature is actually having the desired effect. In terms of the underlying technology, YouTube relies on a vast and complex infrastructure to deliver its services to millions of users worldwide. This infrastructure includes data centers, servers, networking equipment, and software systems. The platform uses a variety of programming languages, including Java, Python, and C++ to build and maintain its various components. Database technologies such as MySQL and Cassandra are used to store and manage the vast amounts of data generated by users. YouTube also leverages cloud computing services from providers such as Google Cloud Platform to scale its infrastructure and handle peak traffic loads. The platform employs sophisticated algorithms for video encoding, streaming, and content recommendation. These algorithms are constantly being refined to improve the quality of the video experience and personalize the content that users see. The addition of Smilies to the reply window is a relatively small change, but it highlights the importance of continuous improvement and attention to detail in software development. By constantly listening to user feedback and iterating on its features, YouTube can continue to provide a compelling and engaging platform for video sharing and consumption. From a broader perspective, the evolution of online communication platforms like YouTube reflects the changing ways in which people interact with each other in the digital age. Smilies and other forms of digital expression have become an integral part of online communication, allowing users to convey emotions and intentions in ways that were not possible in the early days of the internet. As technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative ways for people to connect and communicate online. The addition of Smilies on YouTube is another step in this direction. The implementation likely involves several technical considerations. Firstly, the design of the Smiley interface needs to be intuitive and user-friendly. Secondly, the Smilies themselves need to be visually appealing and consistent with the overall design of the platform. Thirdly, the performance of the interface needs to be optimized to ensure that it doesn't slow down the loading time of the page. Fourthly, the security of the interface needs to be considered to prevent malicious users from injecting harmful code. The development team would have likely used a variety of tools and techniques to address these challenges. Firstly, they might have used a UI framework such as React or Angular to build the interface. Secondly, they might have used a graphics library such as SVG to create the Smilies. Thirdly, they might have used caching techniques to improve the performance of the interface. Fourthly, they might have used security best practices to prevent cross-site scripting attacks. From a project management perspective, the addition of Smilies would have been part of a larger release cycle. The development team would have likely followed an agile development methodology, working in short sprints and releasing new features on a regular basis. The project manager would have been responsible for coordinating the efforts of the various team members and ensuring that the project stayed on schedule and within budget. The testing team would have been responsible for ensuring that the new feature met the required quality standards. The marketing team would have been responsible for promoting the new feature to users. In summary, the addition of Smilies to the reply window is a seemingly small change that involves a complex interplay of technical, design, and project management considerations. It highlights the importance of continuous improvement and attention to detail in software development. The user interface update probably involved front-end and back-end changes. The front-end changes would involve updating the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code to display the Smilies next to the reply window. The back-end changes would involve updating the database schema and the server-side code to store and retrieve the Smilies. The development team would have also had to consider the impact of the changes on the performance of the website. They would have likely used caching techniques and other optimization strategies to ensure that the website remained fast and responsive. The security of the website would also have been a concern. The development team would have taken steps to prevent cross-site scripting attacks and other security vulnerabilities. From a broader perspective, the addition of Smilies to the reply window is part of a larger trend towards making online communication more expressive and engaging. As the internet becomes increasingly integrated into our lives, it is important to create online experiences that are both functional and enjoyable. The update may have considered accessibility guidelines. Web Content Accessibility Guidelines version 2.1 is a widely recognized standard for making web content accessible to people with disabilities. These guidelines cover a wide range of accessibility issues, including providing alternative text for images, ensuring that content is perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. When designing the Smiley interface, the development team would have likely considered these guidelines to ensure that the interface was usable by people with disabilities. For example, they might have provided alternative text descriptions for the Smilies, ensured that the interface was navigable using keyboard input, and used sufficient color contrast to make the interface easier to see. YouTube likely has a dedicated accessibility team that works to ensure that the platform is accessible to all users. This team would have likely reviewed the design of the Smiley interface and provided feedback to the development team.